Hey everyone, it's Colin here at etrailer. Today we're going to take a look at the Thule UpRide Roof Bike Rack for fat tire bikes. This is a bike rack that mounts to your roof rack and allows you to get your fat tire bike hauled to your destination. It's going to grip your bike by the wheel, so you're not going to have to worry about any frame contact occurring with your fat tire bike. What's unique about it is that it has two arms that basically sandwich the tire to make sure that it's secure. Now the great thing about the two-arm system with this bike rack is that a lot of other fat tire bike racks just have that one hook that comes up and then ratchets down on top of your tire. With the two arms, it's going to be a lot more secure. Just means you're going to be able to get to and from your destination with little worry. Now you're going to get the Thule UpRide Roof Bike Rack itself that comes with the standard cradle, which is going to be good for your road bikes or standard mountain bikes if you also have those you want to haul. Now the difference, you are also going to send you the fat bike adapter, which is just this cradle right here, which will hold fat tire bikes up to 5 inches wide. While we're back here, we'll see that we do have a cable which comes out from the back of the bike rack that you can use to lock up your bike. The downside to this is that it does not actually come with the lock core that you use to secure your bike. And they basically do that to leave it open so you can actually get the same lock cores as you would have for your roof rack or even for the front of your bike rack to make sure it's all keyed alike. Out front is where we have the other plastic lock, which can be replaced with a lock core. How this one works is once you get the clamp down like so, you can actually just twist the plastic lock just to keep it secure until you have that lock core. When you add the lock cores, it is going to provide a lot of security for not only your bike to your bike rack, but also your bike rack to your roof rack. A couple things to keep in mind when deciding if this bike rack will suit your needs is that it does have a maximum weight capacity of 44 pounds. So when you get into your heavier fat bikes, especially the fat e-bikes, you may want to consider just getting a hitch-mounted bike rack, which will handle it a lot better. And it's also going to be able to fit a wheel diameter between 20 and 29 inches on the two wheel hooks. So that is going to be good for most of your fat tire bikes. And this is also going to come in handy for if you have a fat tire bike where you can't easily remove that front tire. The Thule UpRide is one of the most secure roof bike racks for fat tire bikes that I have worked with. But when it comes to putting a fat tire bike on my roof, personally I just get a little bit uncomfortable with that. I'd be a lot more comfortable with a hitch-mounted bike rack, and I don't actually want to have to lift my fat tire bike up on my roof. It'd be easier just to throw it on my hitch bike rack at the end of the day. That being said, if you don't have a hitch or your hitch is already in use, the UpRide is going to do a great job with your fat tire bike. Now let's go ahead and unload our fat tire bike so we can have a closer look at the rack. When removing your bike, just like every other bike, you do want to make sure you start at the back with the strap because the balance is being held at the front with the wheel hooks. So we just push down until it releases, pull the strap out, get it to the other side. When removing it, again, just push it on that tab. It comes all the way up. Now from here, because they are connected at the back, we need to come to this lever at the front bottom of our bike rack. Once we pull up on that, the wheel hook will come down like so. And then from there, we can just pick up our bike and remove it. Like I said earlier, this bike rack can also be used for other bikes besides fat tire bikes. If you got a road bike or a mountain bike, those will also work. Now if you're struggling where to have it set for those bikes, at its highest setting, that's going to be for fat tire bikes and for bikes up to 29 inches in wheel diameter. You can see it engraved right there in that slot. Now if you actually bring it down a little bit, we'll pull the pin and bring it down. The next slot is going to have another grouping for your wheel diameter, and then it's going to have more down at the bottom. It's going to give you a good measurement of where it should be for your bike. Both the front and the rear cradles are going to be adjustable back and forth. That's going to help accommodate for wheelbases up to 48 inches long. It is going to be an easy and tool-free installation. We just have these handles on both sides, and there's going to be one in the back cradle as well. You just tighten them down. It's going to tighten itself in the T-slot, and we just push it down and it'll clamp itself to our roof rack. Now if the crossbars you have do not have a T-slot, there is a clamping kit that does come with it, which means this will still work for round bars, square bars, and most factory roof racks. Now we have our Thule wing bar set up right here. It's going to make it very easy to get our UpRide installed. First thing we got to do is flip open the caps. And with the wing bar set up, all we have to do is slide the T-tracks bolts into the slot. So we have the T-bolt, we'll just go right in. There's one. And with the back side, you want to make sure you slide it to line up with your second wing bar. Once we have that lined up, we'll begin to push that first one in at the front. There we go, got it all lined up and in the track, so all we got to do is just push it forward until it's got solid contact. We can close our caps. And you also want to make sure that it is lined up from front to back. So we'll have to pull this side over a little bit, make sure it's straight. Now we can just tighten down our clamps. It's a very easy tool-free installation, so it's going to be a breeze. Now we can get our bike rack set up to be loaded. What we're going to do first is adjust our front wheel hook. Because we do have a fat tire bike, we're probably going to want it to the highest setting. All we got to do is pull on this T-pin right here, and then we can pull the hook all the way out. And we can just let it lock into place when you hear that click. Now we'll bring it up and over to the other side. And on the wheel cradle, we're just going to extend that all the way as well, just because we do have that fat tire bike and it is going to need to be pretty wide. Now we're ready to get our fat bike up there and loaded. Now keep in mind, because fat bikes do weigh a little bit more, if you do need an extra set of hands, it wouldn't hurt to ask for some. If not, I recommend just getting a low center of gravity. We'll pick it up and we'll set that front tire in place first. Get it into that hook so it's stable, then set it on the back cradle. With our bike securely into the cradle and the front wheel hook, we'll bring up the back cradle. And we're going to bring it up until it connects to our wheel hook up there. You'll hear it click. There we go. Now we can pull it down and begin ratcheting it until it's secure. There we go. And now we can also bring our back wheel hook through and secure it into the ratchet. Now if you did get those lock cords that are sold separately, you can now bring your cable lock up, try to run it through the frame of your bike, and then lock it up and you'll be ready to hit the road. Thank you all for watching. That's going to do it for a look at the Thule upright roof bike rack for fat tire bikes.